taxing on my body and my mind, and this pregnancy has been by far the worst. It literally feels like my ribs are going to break or snap. Freaking out on a night and internet shopping, and I want to eat everything in sight. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Holly. I do mummy and pregnancy related content, and today we are doing my 33 and 34 week pregnancy update. If you are not subscribed already, make sure to click that button and notification bell down below. And without further ado, let's get started and talk about the last 2 weeks of pregnancy. So normally I do weekly pregnancy updates, but on this occasion the symptoms of pregnancy and just this pregnancy journey did become so difficult and just incredibly taxing on my body and my mind that I did have to take a week off. I just physically was unable to film last week, so I will kind of explain to you why. It's actually something that I've mentioned quite a few times now, but basically a lot of it was to do with my rib pain, which as far as I was aware was a trapped nerve, although there is some discussion with the doctor about whether it is costochondritis. But whatever this pain is, I've had this in every single pregnancy actually, and this pregnancy has been by far the worst. But I also think some of that could be to do with this is just a really big baby. This is my biggest baby, so especially I feel like baby hasn't dropped, so it hasn't given me any room under my ribs yet. It's still very much tucked up under there and it's knocking the ribs. It's all actually at one side really, but it does go all the way around to my back and all my upper back and my shoulder blades, like underneath my shoulder blades. But the pain when I bend forward, it literally feels like my ribs are going to break or snap. My husband did actually mention to the doctor, because he does all my phone calls on my behalf, he did mention that we'd seen something online about dislocation is quite common in pregnancy apparently, and the doctor actually said she wouldn't be surprised if my ribs were dislocating, which is just crazy to even think that it's doing that. We only have, I've just turned 35 weeks, and we are actually looking, because the pain has been so severe, we're actually looking at bringing the birth forward. This was meant to be a January baby, it was meant to be at the start of January, but we're now looking at late December, so we've only got just over 2 weeks left. So there's not really enough time for me to go see a chiropractor, and it would just be financially difficult for us. We still have a few little things to buy to get prepared for baby, so I just don't see the point when I know as soon as baby's out, actually hopefully, I'm fingers crossed that this pain is going to go away. I have really struggled because of the medication that they've been giving me, and that's actually another reason why I couldn't film last week, is the side effects have been so severe. I have been comatose, I have been sleeping all the time, so they prescribed me codeine, and they did explain that there was a risk because it converts into morphine in your body. There is a risk of the baby becoming dependent and short-term withdrawal effects, which kind of is playing on my mind and making me very concerned. But we kind of outweighed the risks and benefits, all kind of came to the conclusion that I really needed this pain relief, and it is a super low dose. It's not in theory something that I can get addicted to, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it's not going to affect baby and baby isn't going to have withdrawal. I think one of my issues was I was taking the medication as and when I needed it, and then that made me, I was constantly going up and down as opposed to having a constant level in my system, which is what we are trying to do now. And I do feel like my body's now getting used to it, hence why I'm able to film this video today, because when I was just taking it that once on a night just to get me through the night, it wasn't even, I mentioned in my last pregnancy update how the first night I took it I had the best night's sleep and I didn't have any pain. It hasn't always worked like that, and actually a lot of the times it doesn't even touch the pain, and there's part of me thinking, why am I even taking this medication? It's a strong painkiller, but it's still not touching this pain. The pain is so severe, and I think, yeah, we just kind of need this baby out really. But the side effects, I have literally, most days I've needed at least 2 naps, and sometimes we're going for 3 naps. So I'm literally sleeping all the time and just had zero energy. Thankfully that does seem to be getting a little bit better. I seem to be at the opposite end of the spectrum now, and I'm going crazy with nesting, and actually I can't sleep on a night because these painkillers aren't touching the pain. And then I've realised that there's only about 2 weeks left. In the last couple of nights, like, I have been awake till about 5, 6 in the morning, which has just messed my body clock up completely. But I'm kind of in panic mode of nesting, which is really hard when my body physically finds it hard to nest. So I keep asking my husband to actually nest on my behalf and for him to like tidy the house up and stuff. But I'm now at the point of thinking, oh, actually we need this for the baby, and oh, I probably should get some like maternity pads and actually get things ready for birth and stuff. So I'm kind of freaking out on a night and internet shopping, which is what I've been doing for the past couple of nights. One thing that I have actually noticed as a side effect of the codeine as well is because of the nausea it gives me, and I had been taking it consistently at half midnight because then that's kind of when we go to sleep, so it kind of would knock me out and get me through the night. But then because the nausea was in my system and it kind of affected my appetite during the day, by the time the medication has really come out of my system, it gets to 11 o'clock at the following night and I'm absolutely ravenous and I want to eat everything in sight. So I'm not really eating loads in the day at the minute. Like, I haven't even eaten anything yet today, and I haven't been up loads because I just needed, I hadn't slept last night, so I needed the sleep. But I haven't eaten anything yet today, and it's probably like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But it just gets to 11 o'clock at night and I could quite happily eat all the food that I would have eaten during the day all in that one time. And then I go back to taking the medication and then I'm very zoned out. Hi Pebbles. Are you going to be part of this video? But yeah, that is just one of the weird and wonderful side effects that I've had. It's not really been a bad side effect, it's just a weird side effect that has come with, I guess the nausea is mainly the issue. But then I'm absolutely starving and want to eat everything in sight, and I look like a crazy pregnant lady that is just surrounded by food. Thankfully it is healthy food, it's like proper meals and stuff, it's just that's when my appetite seems to really come back. So we also had a 4D scan a couple of weeks ago when I was about 33 weeks, and I will insert some pictures, possibly some clips as well. It's hard because we don't want to see the gender of the baby, so she did very much stay around the face, but it's really made a big difference with bonding actually. That's been a recurring theme throughout this pregnancy, is mentally I've struggled to really bond with this baby for various reasons. And this, actually seeing what it looks like, has really made me feel like it's real, and I can kind of put a face to technically 2 names because we have a boy and a girl name. We can't tell whether it's a boy or a girl from how it looks. I still, when she first put the screen on, I honestly thought it looked just like my daughter, but then towards the end of the scan I thought it looked more like my son. So we still have no idea what the gender is, but it just really helped to see that it was like, we could see that it was opening its eyes and it was looking around and stuff, and it's really made it more real. I'm still terrified, I'm still nervous about meeting a baby and that responsibility of they're gonna hand this baby to me and it's mine and I can't give it back, and it's like then when we go into recovery and stuff, like it's mine and I have to keep it, and I don't know, just that's a huge responsibility. And to know, oh, it's like just a surreal feeling, and I can't believe that I'm going to be going through this again. But I think because it was such an unplanned pregnancy, I'm just mentally not prepared at all in that sense. But I know that as soon as I see it I'm going to fall madly in love with it, and I know I'm going to be absolutely smitten. I will not want to take my eyes off it, but it's just crazy to think of what goes through your head when you look down at that little baby and you realise it's yours and it's your responsibility and it's coming home with you and your life at home is going to change. And it's just, I can't believe how close we are to having all those emotions, and big emotions really make me nervous. So I feel like I'm going to be doing a lot of happy crying. Yeah, let's just say that I'm going to be doing a lot of happy crying. So apart from one incident with reduced movement, which we were already on our way to the hospital anyway because the pain had got so bad and I needed to go see them basically to make a pain management plan, and they had actually discussed admitting me to give me even stronger painkillers, which we decided against in the end, just because apart from the fact I was nervous about getting the COVID test, which I know we'll have to do for the C-section, but I was nervous, so it kind of put me off staying overnight. But also it kind of didn't make sense that they were going to give me super strong painkillers for one night, but then I would still, at that time we hadn't changed the delivery date, so at that time I still had 4 weeks left, and it didn't make sense to have super strong painkillers for one night, but then I've still got 4 weeks to go of then dealing with the painkillers that don't work. But I did, on the way there and stuff, I did have reduced movement. It wasn't that it had completely stopped, it was just very slow and just very sluggish movement. But of course, as always, when it was then plugged into the monitor, this baby could not have moved more. And one thing I've noticed in the past couple of weeks especially is the baby kicks can actually be quite painful. They are really, like, limbs are literally flying everywhere. They are knocking my hips, my ribs, and I'm not gonna lie, there are times when I will randomly just like blurt out a swear word, and it's because I've just been kicked like somewhere just really painful. So Fabian's just kind of got used to the fact that I randomly blurt out swear words now. So before we do my belly shot, I'll just tell you a little bit about what baby has been up to in this past couple of weeks. So baby's bones are hardening. A lot of this is just basically last bits of development. The immune system is really starting to get strong now to be ready to be on the outside world, and it's basically baby's just preparing to come out and be in this world. So that's pretty much everything that baby has been up to, and just obviously still packing on the pounds, which I can definitely feel this baby is getting bigger and bigger every day. So that is what baby has been up to, and I think now we will show you guys my belly before finishing this video. Okay, so here is my belly from the front and from the left hand side, from the right hand side, and there we go, from the right hand side again, from the front, and then from the left hand side. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you would like to follow along with this journey, make sure to click the subscribe button down below. And if you have missed any of my other pregnancy updates, I will put the playlist at the end of this video so you can go check that out. And I have loads of all my most interesting videos linked down below in the description box, along with all my social media handles, so you can check me out on Instagram and like our Facebook page. And I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.